just want the devil, baby.
You think you know someone? I give half my life to a total stranger.
Gotcha. It's a tiny detail that makes all the difference.
You're scaring me, Jack.
What's going on? Where's the kid?
Original homegrown drama. Prime time at Water's Edge. Sunday at 9 on BBC Two.
We catch up on the weather view in 5 minutes here on BBC One Northern Ireland, right after Lindsay Hamilton explains why music matters to him.
I'm Lindsay Hamilton and I present After Midnight with Lindsay Hamilton, which goes out on a Sunday night between 12:05 and 1 o'clock. And the whole idea about this show is that we're playing jazz and the derivative of jazz really from the 60s on. So how jazz is fused with rock, pop, funk, soul, even dance. And we're covering stuff mostly from the States, like the Yellow Jackets and Steely Dan. We're bringing in things that people might not have associated with jazz because of the structure of the music. And it's really feel-good, happy kind of music that will draw people in that maybe don't think they like jazz, but whenever they hear this, they might investigate it slightly more. Good evening and welcome to the show tonight. It's After Midnight with Lindsay Hamilton, and we're going to kick off the show with great Cuban legend trumpet player Arturo Sandoval. Well, jazz is a minority sport, but it's quite a big minority sport. It's got a worldwide appeal. There isn't one country I can think of that doesn't have jazz festivals or even jazz radio stations, certainly jazz artists. I started off as a trumpet player. I've actually been playing trumpet for 34 years. I've worked as a trumpet player with The Commitments, with Paul Brady, Andrew Strong, Foy Vance, Duke Special, Julia Turner, Eleanor McAvoy. I've done a lot of TV stuff, a lot of session stuff. I'm an educator. I'm involved in an organisation called Making Music Workshop, which teaches young people how to play the music that they listen to. And that's something I'm quite passionate about because I can see the power that music has. It's not just an entertainment vehicle. It's actually something that allows people to transform themselves. If you're a jazz musician in particular, the truth is you have no idea what you're going to play next. Music is coming at you similarly to how language would come at you. Nobody can really predict exactly what they're going to say in 2 sentences time. With the jazz, the band is playing a tune that you know they're playing. They can change the direction of what you're going to play with one note, with one chord. Whenever you're on stage, whenever you're playing, whenever you're performing, there is a point where you're not really conscious of anything else that's happening. And the freedom and the relaxation and the fulfillment and the energy that you get from that can't really be explained unless you've performed it. I guess whenever I'm doing a radio show, I'm putting on the records and I'm having an emotional experience. I'm sucking my thumb and I'm gritting my teeth and I'm really getting stuck in to whatever the tracks are doing for me. And I'm just trying to get that out. Every week I'm getting emails from people saying, what do you think of this artist? Have you heard that artist? What about that label? Well, sometimes I actually say, well, why didn't you come onto the show and talk about the labels? There's almost a forum there. They can email the show at linley@bbc.co.uk. I will get the emails, and normally, although there can be quite a few on a weekly basis, I try and respond to them all because you're making the person feel like they're a part of the show. If you listen to the show, you'll probably have never heard anything like it. And that's because the spread that jazz has been colossal. We've been listening for the last 40 years to the Beatles, we've been listening to U2, to the Rolling Stones, we've been listening to punk rock, we've been listening to rock and roll, we've been listening to Cuban and salsa music, an awful lot of that. Well, jazz is an ever-evolving form of music, and it encompasses all of those things. And this show is about opening the doors. It's about letting yourself listen to the music and be moved by it. I would defy anybody to listen to this show for half an hour and not like at least one track that I'm playing.
Your Corner's back live with a new lineup and tackling the issues that matter to you. Each week we'll be in a different county, right among communities across Northern Ireland, tackling the problems, concerns and issues of local people, no matter how big or small. In Your Corner starts live on Monday at 7:30 on BBC One.
On screen, a love heart beats with joy. The picture changes to a toy soldier beating a drum. If you can't see the screen, audio description could help you tell the difference between the beat of a heart and the beat of a drum. Audio description is easy to use, available on most digital TVs, and you can turn it on straight away. To find out how, call 08456 010181 or visit audiodescription.org.uk. Calls cost up to 5p per minute from most landlines. Calls from mobiles may cost considerably more.
Now on BBC One Northern Ireland, tonight's weather view from Matt Taylor. Starting tonight's Sign Zone now on BBC One Northern Ireland, it's the welcome return of a favourite drama. At the start of a new series, it's 1938, and there's nothing quiet about life at 165 Eaton Place.
BBC One Northern Ireland at 10:30. But right now, it's slightly later than billed. It's upstairs, downstairs.
And you can see that when Upstairs Downstairs returns to BBC One Northern Ireland at the same time next week. With archive clips and tributes from famous fans, including Eamon Holmes and Barry McGuigan, BBC One Northern Ireland pays tribute to the late Frank Carson in 25 minutes. But first, it's over to Nicholas Owen with Sunday's BBC News at 10 o'clock.
An American soldier goes on the rampage in Afghanistan.
They're having a ball at Eaton Place now on BBC One Northern Ireland, but for some, it's the last waltz. If you haven't yet had the chance to watch Terry George's Oscar-winning drama The Shore, you'll be able to see it tonight on BBC 4 in about half an hour. The news now on BBC One Northern Ireland with Emily Maitlis.
The Chancellor insists he'll help those on low and middle incomes as fresh details emerge of his plans for the budget.
Stop it!
Randall and Hopkirk Deceased continues on BBC One at 5 to 9 next Saturday. And Vic and Bob reveal some of the show's secrets in a special programme starting in 5 minutes on the digital channel BBC Choice. Next, here on BBC One, Men Behaving Badly.